Hi everybody, this is Miss Peachy from your WCA Marine Science class, and today I am going to do a little video tutorial for your Unit 2 activity on exploring scientific claims. So the directions for this are a little bit confusing, so what I've done is I've actually made a template for you on my website. So if you remember, you got to click on the pushpin icon at the bottom of the screen to access my message boards, which when you do that will take you to links to my website, which you can follow those links. And when you do get to my website, you'll see the home screen is right here, right? And on this home screen, you're going to click on the Marine Science tab, and that brings you to the Marine Science page. And if you scroll down a little bit, you're going to see Semester 1 portfolios. And at this point, this is looking a little messy, so I may have to kind of clean up this page a little bit. But the Marine Science Semester 1 portfolios, the very first one gives you this climate change portfolio template. And I've dated that for October 2nd, which is the date that this thing is assigned on your planner. So if you go ahead and click on this, this is going to bring you to a Google slide or a template here in Google Slides. There's a couple options for how you can proceed here. You can go ahead and click File and then make a copy of this for you to edit if you want to do this in Google Slides. Or most of you are going to probably actually hit download and download this as a Microsoft PowerPoint. So that's how you would proceed here. So when you do download this, you can edit the document and change things, which you obviously are going to have to do once you go through looking at this. So the first page is your just your cover slide. You'll put a title up here and your name, and you can get rid of like this arrow, just highlight and delete it, get rid of this, get rid of my directions in the notes, those types of things, okay? So here you're going to pick 3 articles on global climate change, and they're news articles from kind of, reputable news sites, people who are sites that typically carry the news, like CNN or, National Geographic maybe, or Time, Discover, those types of things. You can pick any of the major news networks if you want to. Pick Fox News or something, that's totally fine. So it doesn't have to be 3 articles that are presenting just the side, I guess, of the argument that climate change is real. You could pick something from the other side of the argument. It doesn't really matter which kind of articles you choose, but what you're doing here is you're actually going to be analyzing the articles for validity more so than reporting on global climate change itself, okay? So moving ahead, your first thing is just to define what global climate change is. So this is in your own words, but you're paraphrasing information that you've researched here. So define what global climate change is and why scientists are concerned about it. You would then include an image here to represent global climate change. Obviously, these things that I have, you're going to delete. You're going to include your own information here. Then you're going to choose 3 articles, like I mentioned before, from news sites. And on this page, you're just going to tell me the names, dates, and publication of the article, and then 3 kind of points that summarize that article. So 3 main points the article makes. So Article 1, you put the title of the article here. You're going to write down the author, and you're going to write down when it was published. And then 3 main points that article makes. Same thing for Article 2, same thing for Article 3. Again, these types of things you can delete. You don't have to keep that in there, right? Then you're going to break it down article by article. Purpose of Article 1 and biases. Remember, what you're doing here is you're analyzing the validity and the biases found in the articles. So you're going to try to get inside the author's head here, okay? Discuss the main reason Article 1 is being written. So you have to think about this. Is this article trying to persuade you? Is it trying to inform you? Is it, trying to get you to act? Is it trying to not just persuade you, but also trying to get you to take action? Is it trying to change your opinion? What is this article trying to do? And what kind of hidden biases or agendas does the author have? What is it that you can kind of see this sometimes. If the author to the article is, say, somebody who works for Exxon, they are working, they're employed by one of the big oil tycoons. Is this something, where they have a hidden agenda to try to get you to believe that global climate change isn't a big deal? Think about do they have political affiliations? Is something in it for them, basically? What kind of biases or hidden agendas may they have? It does ask you to insert an image here, and then it does say that this would be great if it was a picture from the article. So if the article has pictures, including an image from that article would be great. Article 2, same thing. Again, why is it being written? Get inside the author's head, and does it have any biases or hidden agendas with an image? And same thing for Article 3. Then you're going to be looking at metaphors or analogies used in the article. So, a metaphor would be something, we can use the, classic example from Forrest Gump, life is like a box of chocolates, right? That's a metaphor. Or an analogy is something that is kind of using something that's more something you're familiar with and comparing it to something you're not quite as familiar with. The actual phrase greenhouse effect is an analogy because the Earth isn't really a greenhouse, but many of us are familiar with greenhouses. And a greenhouse is where light will come in through the glass panes of the greenhouse, and it's trapped in there by the glass and can't escape, so the greenhouse gets warm. So the term greenhouse effect is in fact an analogy. So don't use that one, but find metaphors or analogies that are used, just one from each article, and discuss how effective that was to you, the reader, from what the author was trying to intend. So how effective was it in getting across that point or the feeling that the author was trying to impart to you? And again, an image would be great because it just makes it a little bit more interesting to look at. Otherwise, it gets kind of boring sometimes. Who are the experts? Why should we believe the author on this article? Are they an expert? Are they interviewing experts in their article? And what were the credentials of that expert? Are they do they have experience in the subject matter? Do they have a degree? Like, are they a doctor of climatology? That would make somebody kind of an expert. Or is it just a politician who doesn't have expertise? So who are the experts? What are their credentials? So what makes them so-called experts? Is a person who's a congressman an expert in climate science? Probably not. So you need to kind of find out what the credentials are of the people who are being interviewed or who are actually the author of the article themselves. And then give an example of statistics used in each of the articles. Just one example. How are numbers brought into play? Are they saying a certain percentage of the population? Are they giving us statistics about sea level rise? Are they giving a statistic about, amount of carbon dioxide? So give a statistic, and you're going to reflect upon how accurate you think those statistics are and whether or not you think they're designed to be misleading. You can also give a graph and talk about the graph and see, analyze that graph and how accurate it was in there. But some sort of statistic, some sort of way in which numbers were used in each of the articles, and a reflection of that statistic. And then overall, compare and contrast the three articles. Which one seemed most scientific and believable? Were any of the articles designed to try to sway you using shock value or other techniques often used in propaganda? And in the end, what is your conclusion regarding global climate change? So answer these 3 questions with respect to all 3 of the articles. And then finally, not just the articles, remember, but you also researched what global climate change was. So you should have at least 4 things to add to your bibliography using MLA citations. Okay, so this is what you need to do for your portfolio. You can use this template, just remember to change the things that I have in there, but then you know exactly what needs to go in each slide. And if you do have questions on this, if you're confused on something or you want some help with maybe looking for metaphors or any of that stuff, let me know when we can meet together in my virtual classroom to kind of get a little extra help. So hopefully that all made sense. Again, you can give me a webmail or call me if you need additional help, and have a great day.